So you worked on this with the guitarist from Breaking Benjamin, yeah?
Yeah, Blasco had arranged an awesome series of writing sessions, and then he discovered that what Keith Wallen and I had done, and that became the one.
Right on, right on. So everybody, welcome back to Rock Titan. I'm Scotty J. We've got an amazing guest with us right now. I'm really looking forward to talking with him about his newest musical masterpiece. But he is evidence that DNA is very strong in families. You see it all the time in athletes. You know, if the grandfather played football or baseball and the kid, son played football or baseball, basketball, whatever, it trickles on down the family line. So, this gentleman we have with us right now is part of a dynasty, no doubt, with many artists, musicians, composers, actors, and everybody. Wes Cage. Wes Cage, how you doing?
Thank you. I'm wonderful. Thanks, and you?
Yeah, good, man, good. So I know that I probably caught you a little off guard because we just started talking, and then all of a sudden I'm introducing you all over again, but no one else knew what else we were talking about. But so the Wolf. Now, before we dig into it too much, Wes. Now we know that you had worked on this with Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin, co-wrote the Wolf with him, and you've got an official music video out there right now. Is this the first music that you've at least made public since prehistoric technology?
It is.
Wow. So, what have you been doing in the last 10 years, man?
Well, I've been doing a lot of acting. I also managed to do another album where I played every instrument. On prehistoric technology, I played pretty much everything, but
Yeah.
but on I did another record, and it wasn't released, but luckily some of those tracks made the cut for what we're doing now. And then yeah, man, finally all these years later, I do a music video.
Right on, man. Well, all good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue, right? Yeah, I'm assuming patience is a virtue. You down with patience? Do you have patience? Are you a patient man?
I think so. Uh, I only lack patience when it's like something's about to be released and it's the countdown.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm glad you brought up how many instruments you play because I thought that was fascinating. I always love speaking with musicians who are not just like a one trick pony, like where they don't just sing or just play guitar or whatever. From what I've read, correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually play 12 different instruments, some even as extravagant as the Turkish lute. Am I right?
That's correct. Yes, I do.
Wow. That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I applied what I know with string instruments. I mean, like applied pretty much my guitar and mandolin abilities to bouzouki and the lutes and sitar, and wound up being able to play those. But uh, yeah, I also play drums, bass, and pretty much everything else.
That's wild. Now, like I alluded to earlier, the Coppola family, that you've got a lot of musical talent, there in your gene pool. And, I'm looking back, going as far back as your great grandfather and your great grandmother, your great grandfather, who was a flutist, if I'm not mistaken, and obviously was a composer. And then your great grandmother, and I'm talking about Carmine and Italia Coppola, she was a singer as well. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes, I know for sure the flute, the career that he had with the flute was pretty outstanding. He became the first chair flautist for Arturo Toscanini, and and then Talia was also very very talented.
Now, do you think there's anything to genetics, or am I just overblowing that? And this is just something where Wes Cage in his own right just developed a passion for music, and he's got skills as a multi instrumental musician as well as a singer. Do you lend any credit to maybe the genetic pool or what?
There's definitely a genetic element to all of us being artists because I don't know one Coppola or someone that's related that isn't artistic. I mean, it's literally every single one.
That is
So
pretty wild, man. I gotta say. I mean, I think that's so cool, though, man. And if you're gonna have, a family legacy like that, I think the arts are one of the greatest ones that you could possibly have. Of course, it's great to be a world class athlete too. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know what I'm leaving my kids. I feel bad for them, but no, I think they're pretty good. They got different skills, coming down through the family tree. But the wolf, I want to talk about the wolf because Wes, one of the things that got my attention right away was the bling bling you had on your fingers. And I'm just thinking, how in the world could he possibly play any instruments? Because I noticed you were playing the piano, or the keyboards. I can't imagine being able to play any strings with rings like that on your finger. Was that just for show, or like do you actually wear those when you're performing?
that was just for show. Yeah, those are
Or are they just props,
yeah
or are
the
they real?
those are real, the real metal. And it was done by an artist in LA. She's pretty amazing. I believe her name is Miriam Hart Union. She's a um, designer, and she did all the masks that were metallic, plus the chained um, finger kind of rings as well. Those were, yeah. She's a very unique artist. She was doing stuff that is not very common, and we definitely went with her.
Yeah, man, that was some solid work. Um, so as far as The Wolf goes, this is a single that's out right now, everybody, by Wes Cage. Go check it out. We'll have links in here. Go check out the official music video. It's pretty cool. Well, very well done. Um, Now, you were saying that you've had obviously a lot of time between prehistoric instrument or prehistoric technology and now the wolf. Is this part, and you were talking about the cutting room floor, as far as what had made that. Can we be looking forward to like an EP or a full length album coming out? Is this just you're kind of wetting our whistle here? What's the deal?
Well, I definitely want to release a full length. Um, it's awesome because we already have some songs from that. Because I did that one record after Prehistoric Technology that didn't get released, but I managed 10 tracks, and some of those made the cut. Um, and I think that we could develop something pretty quickly and have it released. I would love that.
Yeah, yeah. No, man. Right on, right on. So, you talked about your acting earlier. You've been doing that over the last 10 years. Obviously, we're talking about your music, skills and your music career going on right now. Is there one that you have a particular affinity for over another? Like, do you feel more you like more the acting, more the music? Is that something that figures into your daily thinking?
I think it's about equal for me, since like for me it's the same mechanism. Just the expression itself. Depending on what medium I'm doing, it could be a little different, but the acting and the music are very similar for me.
Okay. Now I know from a music perspective, at least, you've got like some heavy Nordic cultural influences, which I'm a big fan of. I come from Nordic family myself.
Oh, no.
And then you're very spiritual, and you've got a lot of different spiritual influences. Where does that come from?
Well, when I was little, I was very, very connected to my spirituality. I mean, at a young age, I was already talking about people's auras and the colors of auras, and I was a pretty different kid. So when I turned 15, I came back into that, except I started studying mysticism, and I mean, mysticism is pretty much the pulse of my music and ideology. But I really got into the Scandinavian, all the dramatic Nordic mysticism, and of course the Egyptian, the Hermeticism and Kabbalah and everything. Uh,
Wow. Was there anyone in particular that inspired you to go down that path, or was it just something that you found on your own?
well, my dad was studying quite a bit about um, mysticism and some different types of philosophy, and he kind of inspired me to go back into that. It's interesting because my dad wound up inspired me to really study mysticism and the shamanic, and then my mom kind of inspired me with having knowledge about herbs and stuff. So it was
Wow.
um,
In a past life, you could have been a shaman.
yeah, I think so, and
You
that's cool
know.
because uh, usually my first instinct was what herb to take, depending for a certain ailment or to receive a certain let's say to receive a certain objective or result. Usually I'm spot on. The first thought herb was.
Right on. Right on. Now, I don't want to go offending your dad or anything like that, from a musical perspective, because the only time I've ever heard him sing was in was I think the Family Man, and he was singing "La La means I love you," and this acting, you are amazing. Singing, I don't know, man, but Wes has got some chops. So, do you get your vocal chops from your mom or what?
I'm not sure. I think when my dad does he's got an amazing rendition of some of Prince's music. Purple Rain. He does a good one.
So, can your dad actually sing? I mean, does he have some chops?
He does. Yeah, he can sing.
Right on,
Yeah.
man. Oh my God. Now, see, I know that there are a number of actors that have also been very prominent musicians. Kevin Costner, I know he's in a band out there. Bruce Willis, it was a really big thing for him. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, there's Johnny Depp. Oh God, who am I thinking of? 30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh, Jared Leto.
Thank you. Yes. So, I mean, there's quite a few. And now, obviously, you're part of that overall culture too. Do you think really they kind of go together? I mean, like, does it make sense that if you're in acting, just because there's a theatrical side to music, obviously, I mean, now some musicians are more stoic than others, but there's the entertainment factor, as a whole. Um, do you see a big relationship between the two? Like, do you? I guess what I'm asking you is, do you see yourself incorporating your acting into your music and vice versa?
I definitely do, because sometimes when I'm doing a song, like to have character voices and different personifications of something. But um, and then as for the incorporating my music into my acting, sometimes what I do vocally is definitely something that had its origins in my music.
Right on. Right on. Now I know you're a family man now yourself. You've got kids, yeah?
Yes, 4 kids.
Wow, you've got 4 children. How old are they?
We have 9 and 7, and then 2 girls that are going to be 4 pretty soon.
You have twins?
Yes,
Oh man, I have twins too.
that's awesome.
So yeah, so you said your twins are 2 girls?
2 girls, yes.
Okay, yeah. See, I have a boy and a girl. And they're all grown up now. Now how old did you say they were? 4?
They're going to be 4, yeah.
They're gonna be 4. Oh man. That's such a fun age, dude. Enjoy it, man. Seriously, from one father to another with twins, enjoy that time because it goes by so freaking fast. And I mean, it's a ride. My twins are 21 now, so it's
Oh,
like, yeah, man, it is fun. I really loved it. But ironically enough, or coincidentally enough, I should say, my daughter, she's going to school for music. She's in music education, and her brother went in the Air Force. So my
hmm,
son is he just made rank of senior airman, and yeah, so I'm really proud of him. And my youngest son, who's 15, so I have 3. I don't have 4. I'll never have 4. Otherwise, it was some serious divine intervention at play there, man. Let me tell you. But my youngest, he's playing the piano, so all the foundational instruments. I mean that's certainly a big one right there. Um, do you see your children at all? Like, are they kind of following into family roots there? Do you see any one of them leaning toward, music or acting or anything like that?
Well, I've definitely encouraged my sons to play music, and I have seen them show some talent in that. Uh, and Yeah, the even my little girls back when I was around them, they used to play piano quite a bit. Um, but my children are they all have that creative ability and genius in them, which I want to see where that goes.
It's that Coppola DNA, man. Telling you. Well, stretch on for years, and now you've got a son too, so it's like, you're going to keep this thing going, going to keep it going. Well, I know your time is valuable, Wes, and everyone, again, we are here with Wes Cage, and, we're talking about The Wolf, his latest single that's out right now. So what can we be looking forward to in the I guess the early part of 2024, because we're really wrapping up 2023 here, and before we know it, we're going to be into the new year. You got any major plans as far as the beginning of 2024 goes, or even leading into next spring?
Well, there's a couple films that my fiance and I have written that I'm going to be putting together and hopefully seeing materialize next year. Also, I really want to start working on the next tracks and see what I can get released and ready to go. As far as I would love to do an album. I mean, that's where my heart's at. And then I'm also I've been working on a multitude of things that I really hope to get out there.
Right on, man. Right on. Any particular collaborations that you've kind of got on your bucket list? Any particular musicians that you've thought about working with in any of your future works?
Yeah, I befriend him. My friend Alexi is an amazing musician. Same with Kid Bookie. Uh, but Alexi Yagikian he's an awesome musician, and those two I definitely want to do something with. And then yeah, I think I mean I generate songs very fast, so it'd be cool to be able to get maybe like also a very large album out there with more than 12 tracks or something.
Right on, right on. And the relationship with Pavement so far, Pavement Entertainment, Pavement Music, going well?
Oh, it's been a magnificent, honestly, the best. And I'm so glad that it's them that I wound up being with, and I really love everyone there.
They've got a great roster, man. I've been working with them for years, and as soon as I saw you were dealing with them, I'm just like, yeah, it's just further testimony, that the right talent is going to Pavement, and then vice versa. Pavement is really a destination for artists like yourselves and so many more that really have it going on. But Wes, thank you so much. I know that you're a few hours behind me, so you're out there on the West Coast, yeah?
Yes.
All right. You ever make it out to the Philly region? Because that's where I am. You have a particular affinity for Philly at all? Because I know your great aunt, is the famous Adrian Balboa. And of course, your dad was out here filming National Treasure for a spell. You ever spend any time out here?
Yeah, I love Philly. I did a tour with my old extreme metal project, Eyes of Noctum.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, we played Philly, played a couple areas, but I just remember how gorgeous the wildlife was there. The green is a different brand of different breed of green. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm about 40 minutes south of downtown Philly, and where I am is literally out in the country. It's like a petting zoo. I
Wow.
tell everybody when you're driving around the roads, be very, very careful because there are large mammals roaming about. So I don't know what's out there on the West Coast necessarily as far as that goes, if there's any comparisons, but yeah, squirrels and rabbits and foxes, those are the least of your worries out here.
No, definitely. I would say the only issue we have probably for especially for pets is our coyote problem is
Oh,
pretty.
yes.
California is the worst with coyotes. Yeah.
I've heard about that. Yeah, we have coyotes out here too, but yeah, I imagine they look a little bit different, probably,
They're
just based on the geography.
they're very aggressive. They just love to attack pets. I think it's more I think it's sport for them probably. I mean, even more than just to feed, but it's definitely a sport.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to let you get going. And Wes, thank you so much again for joining me on Rock Titan. And everybody, if you have enjoyed this podcast every bit as much as I know you've had to, show us a little bit of love, give us a subscribe, go check out all the other thousands of interviews that we've done. We've got a lot of amazing musicians out there, just like Wes Cage. And go check out Wes's stuff. Even going back, because he's done a lot of work. But again, The Wolf is what's out there right now. That is what we're promoting, and it's great, great official music video as well. So again, I'm Scotty J. You're watching Rock Titan. We're out.